wrinkles here. You get some Botox. That's what Bulgaria is known for. The classic Botox. Morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. It's Friday, Friday the 13th, September 13th, wrapping the week up after some pretty decent moves, a lot of movement, a lot of volatility throughout the week overall. We talk about equities today, mainly. We'll take a look at what Boxy has about oil as well. And we'll see how this session kind of comes in. We're at an interesting spot here on the futures market. We'll talk about that. We'll break down the NASDAQ and the S&P, throw some areas to trade down, and see what comes of it. You'll notice, well, people on the stream will notice that we have a little timer on. I'll be waiting the first 15 minutes, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of session it is. Right now, 167,000 contracts trade on the S&P 500 futures, which is like nothing. Well, not nothing, but it's pretty weak. Overnight moves over the last 2 days have been pretty weak. Yesterday, throughout the day, was very choppy as well. So let's take a crack at this. Let's see how the day goes. We'll look at some topics of discussion as well. If anyone wants to suggest any topics as the market shape up, I don't want to get super active today. I want to trade smaller and just like reasonably try to navigate these markets. So topics of conversation around trading and other, right? We'll discuss those as well. I think maybe I kind of wanted to talk about trading, kind of extended trading hours along with like blind limits, right? What blind limits look like, trusting levels, creating levels based on order flow, stuff like that. Because there have been some decent opportunities on the overnight sessions as well as throughout the day, right? Just like finding a level, putting a limit out and waiting. So as I contemplate where I'm going to get Botox from, whether it's going to be Turkey or Bulgaria, let's put Steven on here.
You're going to get Botox?
Yeah, I saw that. I got a lot of forehead wrinkles.
It makes you look distinctive and like you have character.
Character. I feel like these wrinkles should have come a little later in my life, but this this camera here is magnifying the hell out of them.
Nobody looks that good in HD, but
Oh, geez, that's thanks. Anyways, happy Friday the 13th to you.
happy Friday the 13th, brother.
I'll record this and we can get cooking.
Alrighty. Well, good morning, Victorio. Good morning, TRADEPRO Academy. Oil market is up this morning. We opened about $2 higher than we opened yesterday. Just before the open, we put in a Globex high of 70.18. Yesterday was an up session, and Globex has kind of taken us up as well. So VWAP sitting at 68.74. I'm sorry, the pivot is sitting at 68.74. The VWAP is above that. R1 is sitting at 70.23. And so we're kind of knocking on the door. So trends are up. Looks like it's going to be an up day in the oil market. So watch those longs. We'll watch it, trade it, you know what's up.
Let's go oil. Appreciate it. Thanks, Boxy. Yeah, I do like oil for the, like we were talking about this a lot. Well, not a lot, a few times, but you were talking about kind of waiting for some kind of stabilization on oil before punting some longs.
We told it, was it Laurent yesterday that we told to go ahead and get long around 68, and he should be smiling.
Yeah, I like it. I like that area. For those oil longs for the, I guess, foreseeable future, next few months at least. Those are my thoughts, but I've been buying pretty much a lot of major dips on oil this year, so we'll see. So I got a timer here set to the 15 minutes. We'll start when the market opens, but let's break down what it is that we're looking at. and then we'll go back to the Botox conversation because it's very, very important. Um, so let's see. Uh, so equities, right? The S&P 500 futures, the NASDAQ. Let's start with the SPOOs first. What a week, right? This was the 11th. The 11th was what day was Wednesday, I think, where we got this pretty large swing to the downside and then swing back up. Erased all the losses on the day and contributed to a massive expansion into balances higher. So as I see this thing right now, excuse me, let me expand this a little on the SPOOs. So what's going on here? We've got this major balanced area that spans from about 46, like 65, all the way up to about 55, 65, 55, 70 area, with the midpoint somewhere over here. This was a big area of interest over the last few days around that 55.10. And we've expanded higher. Yesterday, we dipped below it temporarily, finding some key support structure before, again, expanding yet again, even higher. And I've got this region right here between 56.05 and 10, right? That's my key region right now that we're looking at to see if there's going to be some kind of momentum to the upside or the downside realistically. So the overnight session, very thin, just kind of sideways, didn't really move much. And we got this like distribution over here that expands all the way up to 56, 48, 50 area. And then we've got those prior tops around 65 that were tested. I counted, I think, like 7 to 8 times in late August before we saw this larger pull down to 5,400. So that's the area of attack, right? Right now, the buy side, it's really going to want to expand to go and test those areas to tell us that there's really strength in this market. There's a real bull continuous in this market. Yeah, we've seen multiple days of continuous upside, but the bulls have the torch right now and they better continue. Otherwise, we're going to see kind of potentially a lower high, even a lower high from that past lower high from the all-time high. I know, confusing. So today we're opening around, or we're most likely going to open around this distribution area. So honestly, I'm just going to wait it out to see what kind of expansion gets created. Yesterday, we got a nice move with like this low volume incomplete auction that spans all the way down to about 72. 55, 72 on the SPOOs. There is a very large cluster of positive delta, I'll show you in a bit, that was created in that area, which if we can pull back into it, I anticipate that those buyers are just going to keep hammering the longs from there. So that's one of the regions that creates this very nice pullback for the long continuation. Keep in mind, it is 40 points away. So it would require a fairly significant downside turn, 40-point drop, but I don't want to get, if it does, should it happen, I don't want to get like super trapped with the idea that the sell side's actually taking over and I start selling rallies as it turns out to be a potential decent little long. We got these single prints and the volumes start around that 85 area. It's a midpoint in this distribution block over here in this balance I don't really want to play with. I'd rather, if there's going to be a pull down, play with the 72. The other aspect of this is if we accept back into this auction lower, the first short realistically is selling 05 to 08 if we actually hold an offer under it, which would be, for me, the most logical fade of the day to the downside. So I'm gonna just keep that in mind. I would rather try to be long to see if we can continue above into these areas. If we can hold like 56.10 area, 15 as support structure, I think like 20, 28, and then 48 are intact for the upside. We start moving above 28 on the SPOOs, right? That's some kind of bullish pressure that I would like to see for that upside momentum. So we're pretty much just like, to wrap it all up, right? To give a little summary of what's going on and what my ideal situation would be slash expectations for this move is we expand one way or the other, where I'm going to look for the buy side. If we expand above that 56.10 area, 56.10, like aggressively, we trade 56.20, 25. this region becomes like a structural support to continue that momentum higher. I just want to see the expansion. I'll just like buy dips realistically. We get an expansion lower, I'll most likely try to buy that 72, right? The fade opportunity, like I said, if we offer aggressively under 56.10.08 area, you can try to find a little sell from that region to get down to that 72. But I'm mainly just waiting for some kind of expansion to get on board this. So let's see over here the delta that I was talking about. This was from yesterday. You can see right here, massive chunk of positive delta around 70 to 72. I think that area holds if we see it, right? It's a very, very big area. And this is one of the things that I was talking about a touch earlier when it comes down to finding these massive regions in terms of order flow as well as auctions, where you can kind of just like put a limit out with like maybe slightly wider stop with the anticipation that it's actually going to hold and sustain that area. So overnight session doesn't really give me too much information. Some people are trying to get trapped on the short into like 03, 05. Sure, that's a region. Like you could maybe try to flirt with that, but I kind of want to just see some kind of cleaner expansion to get us more mobile, right? Get us more mobile. These guys over here at 95, again, another little intermediate region, 95, 84. I don't want to play with these smaller areas. I want to see some kind of larger expansion either way so I can get more of an indication and understanding of where this thing wants to hold out. So let's see NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ yesterday pulled back perfectly into the auction high at 370 for a nice little bounce into the end of the day. But NASDAQ and tech is showing some pretty resilient bidding right now. So you got the top band of the auction over here that sits around that 370 area. So that becomes like one of those minor pullbacks. You got this other auction bottom around like 410-ish, 415. And realistically, I'd like to see if we can move above that 520. Above 520, 515, I think the buy side really takes control and I could be long above that region or pullbacks into like 370 or like 410-ish. They're very close together, 370, 410. So maybe we see that 370. We fill some of that volume that was left behind from yesterday, 360, 370, and see if any buyers want to step into that area. But it's Friday. Typically Fridays are known for like some nice closes into the end of the week. So we'll see how that wants to transpire. The short case for me, like if there's going to be some kind of stronger downtrend that I'm not like trying to fade and finagle, is going to be under 70 on the S&P 5570, and it's going to be realistically, I would say under like 340, 350 on the NASDAQ. That's what I'd expect in terms of that downside momentum shift. So baby fades under 56.08 if they can offer, but I kind of just, I don't want to play too much in this like choppy region, which is the whole overnight balance that's been created. I want to play the expansion either side of this. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for here on the day with the S&P and the NASDAQ. Trying to look for some kind of larger move that will take place, and then we can just jump on the side of that trend. Whether it happens in the morning or in the afternoon, right? I want to be patient enough to wait for something like that, where I'll put the timer on, wait the first like 15 minutes, see how this market gets to cooking, and then we shall get active ideally. So anyways, back to the main topic of conversation, Botox. That's where we want to be today. I've seen so many videos of that, like where they compare a person that has like a billion Botoxes, where like zero, because like what does it do? It just like kind of paralyzes your
face. My wife
yeah.
gets that.
Like, is it like your muscle that gets paralyzed?
Yeah, I mean, my wife gets that. So like, it's a joke, you know, when she comes home after she gets it, it's like frown, smile.
Yeah, yeah,
Her
yeah.
forehead doesn't move at all.
Yeah, that's those are the videos that I've seen. It's like a woman that's like in the industry and she's like super super deep into Botox. Like this woman's had like I don't know how many, like hundreds of like injections, whatever it is. like some like crazy amount. Like I don't know if, well, 100 seems like a lot anyways, but like a lot for anyone. And it was like the same thing. They put her side by side with like um another woman who hasn't done any, and it's like what you were saying, smile, frown. The woman that has like 100 or whatever it is, her face does not move a millimeter. I'm like, that's crazy.
Not at all.
uh, I'm just gonna type out these plans for today, and we'll get back to business. Question: exports and imports have any effect at 10 a.m.? I doubt it. Exports and imports. Let me see. That's honestly the first time I've even, not the first time that I've heard of exports and imports, but like the first time that I've ever considered it to have any major effect. So I'm gonna say no. It doesn't even show up on Forex Factor. So I'm a saying no. What did I see on Forex Factory? US or sorry, prelim U of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations at 10 a.m. That could jolt the market, right? Get a little reaction, a little spike up and down, like a little aggressively, and then go from there. Gold futures maybe getting toppy. I don't know. I don't really look at gold futures, to be honest. Um, not sure, but if I'm looking at it right now on a daily chart, Jesus, this I wouldn't call that toppy. It's just expanding higher on a daily at least. Like I'll swing commodities. I don't really day trade them. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Morning, everyone. Yeah, contract flip is coming up as well. Let me see here. We'll look at the quote board actually to get a better understanding. So, like right now, for instance, on the quote board, we've got 177,000 contracts traded on the U's, which is the current contract, and then the Z is trading 87,000. So by the end of today, right, they might be like the Z might be trading more. So like there's gonna be more liquidity on that. I don't know, right? Probably by Monday is the general flip, right? The Monday of I generally move it into. Like I'm probably not going to like flip it like midway through the day. If like let's say the Z starts trading like 100, 200,000 more, but they're both trading like 1.2 million, like it doesn't, it's whatever at that point. I don't get headaches, but I got a pounding one right now. Yeah, Fatty's getting Botox as well. We're all getting Botox, team Botox.
Botox for everybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what's the Botox futures silicon? What time does the New York session begin at where I'm at? It starts at 4 p.m. my time here when the US opens. Take a 1/4 tablespoon of salt, wash it back with water for a headache. What do I drink it or do I just spit it out after? This tablespoon of water. Or never mind, maybe I read that wrong. Just eat the tablespoon of water and then wash it back. Or whoa, what am I talking about? Eat the tablespoon of salt and wash it back with water. You know what? I'm gonna try it. I have nothing to lose at this point. Throw the salt in my mouth, okay, and then I'll drink it with water. Let me see here. Yeah, this shit coming out. Like that might be a lot. I don't know if you can see it. I'm like spilling everywhere. Looks like crack. This looks like a lot. Shit. I guess we're having fun on Friday. Wow. Salty. If this works, thank you. If it doesn't, you're banned. I don't know if that was a quarter or not, but market's about to open.
Morning, gang. Big Foxy.
Morning, Cody.
Everyone.
Morning,
Morning.
buddy.
What are you doing, Vic? What were you taking? Sorry, I joined late.
I was eating salt. Someone on YouTube told me to eat salt for my headache.
Ah, interesting.
I'll update you in a few minutes if it worked or not. Here's the market open. Let's start this
Yes.
timer.
So, what are you on today, Vic? By the mode? By the dip mode?
Hell yeah.
Let's go. What are you looking for on ES and NASDAQ levels wise?
Yes. Honestly, it's a bit tougher because like we're just like balanced in this overnight high right now.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just looking to see if there's any kind of expansion because I could look at like 95 for example. I could look at 84 for example, and like see the potential for those longs in that area. They're kind of just in the middle of things. I would like 72. 72 is pretty far away though. The best case scenario is just like let this thing expand to the upside. Get like pretty far, or not super far, but like get far away enough from like 08 to 10. Try to buy
Yeah.
that. NASDAQ kind of just came into the area. We were talking about like 410-ish, but I like 370s as well. So we'll see how that kind of shapes up.
Awesome. Yeah. The first 15 minutes will tell us a lot today too.
Yeah, but the timer's already going. We got a few minutes here. See what goes on, but right now, like they're trying to buy this pullback. A bunch of people got stuck on the spoos at 05. And we'll see how this thing shapes up in the morning here. But
The way
NASDAQ,
that I like what Vic is doing today in terms of waiting for another expansion because, like, yeah, you're coming in with a kind of a bullish overnight expansion and a bullish yesterday session, but that's not confirmed for today. So for us to confirm it again today, I want to see another expansion before I get into buying pullbacks. Because if I start like buying everything too early on, and it just hammers one level of support after the other, and I've been buying the whole thing, and suddenly you accept below 360 on NASDAQ, then you transition to a short side, you're sitting in 3 losses on the long. So it's better today to actually wait and see who has the upper hand now.
Just close your eyes and buy it, Fadi. If it goes down, buy more.
Okay. Yeah.
You honestly might be
That's easier. That's
yeah, easier said than done. But honestly, like right off this open, like listen, you could have been done on the day right now if you just like bought this open at those like two key areas on the spoos at the 05s and like the NASDAQ into this like 10 area. But it like I don't know. It's just still holding within the overnight balance. Like I don't really love that. NASDAQ traded up to like 480-ish on the overnight trying to pull back right now. Like fine, let it pull back. Like I think there's I don't know. I just don't want to get active right off the open, but it was there. Now we wait. I gotta wait like another 11 regardless. He's what means.
Clock's not moving. Yeah, there you go.
There was here's a topic of conversations. We kind of wait to see what happens here as this bid is trying. In the world, like out of living things, do you think there are more legs or more eyes?
legs.
I mean,
Wild
both.
guess. That's a that's a
Listen,
tricky question.
I don't know the answer. It's just a question to like converse.
I think more legs because the most you can have is 2 eyes, no?
Well,
But
no, I'm
like
talking about
some,
like all living things because
yeah, instincts, animals, they have more
yeah, like
legs
say,
than.
like you've got so here are like some arguments like bugs, like some bugs, insects, spiders, right? Um they got a shitload of eyes, right? But they also have a lot of legs, right? If you're
Yeah,
looking
that's true. Yeah,
millipedes, what is it? Um,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Fuck, Vic, why does it have to be a trick question in the morning like that?
no, it's not. Listen, there's another aspect to it because then if you're thinking about living things, then you got to think about the ocean, right? What Evan
Yeah,
said.
those, yeah,
Fish don't have legs, but they have
that's
eyes.
true. Mm,
So it's a matter of it's a head scratcher.
for real. Yeah.
Fish has fingers. Do they have legs though? More eyes. I don't know. It might be on camp eyes. I don't know. But the bugs, man, the
Uh,
bugs. There's a lot of bugs out there.
I I started off on camp legs and now it's eyes, honestly, yeah. Now, like, yeah, living things, maybe.
There's more insects than fish for sure, but do those insects have more eyes or more legs? Just something to pass the time here as I'm waiting for this thing. Like, if I was just like swinging it out off the open, that 410 on NAS trades, we're trading about like 50 points higher. The ES trades at 05, we're trading about like 10, 11 points higher. Do I think that Jensen's comments at the Goldman meeting that caused that crazy reversal on Wednesday? I doubt it. I don't even know what Jensen said. I think the crazy reversal on Wednesday, generally speaking, was caused by just like massive dip buyers, right? Like allocators into big tech at like more favorable prices, as well as just like general big money going into more favorable prices after that like CPI print. I don't think any one person's comments, like especially Jensen's comments, are going to cause this reversal that has been going on for multiple days right now. Like, well, that doesn't really have too much to do with, unless it's like Jerome Powell completely shifting the monetary policy. And as it continues to rip, geez. Oh my god, I lost internet again. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Let me see 1 second. I don't want this to keep happening. I make fatty host here for a second. Okay, I should be back. All right. Everything should be in order right now. Let's see. We're trying to expand here. Like we're pretty much trading back into the overnight highs. Any brave souls want to fade these highs? So we were getting trapped, trying to bid 16, right? Decent little delta that's getting created there. NASDAQ pulling off of that 480. We got about 12 minutes of market movement here. And all we've talked about is eyes, legs, and Botox. I like the idea of the expansion higher though, but we got to start chugging along. You can't keep these guys getting trapped into these highs. That's not optimal for the buy continuation. It's right at the overnight high as well. Might be a slower one. Friday the 13th. Scary stuff going on in these non-moving markets. The attempted expansion here in NASDAQ is trying to lead this way higher, right? They're trying to bid above this 16 area on the SPOOs now as well. Hey, Vanta trading in the house. What's up? 50 seconds until my 15-minute timer goes off here. And we'll, not that I haven't been looking at what's going on or like a little more active, but the expansion, should we continue this expansion, right? I'll probably be a lot happier in trying to identify pullbacks. Like if we can expand a decent bit above, like maybe into like mid-20s, I think these areas that have created these heavier deltas become reasonable on the SPOOs to try and catch that momentum going forth. All right, my 15-minute timer is up and these guys have started trying to catch a bid. We'll minimize this for now. They're doing good right now on the buy side. They kind of just like came in off the open and they keep like pushing higher. Get a little trapped every like few points higher and higher. Get a little pull down here, like Nas is trying to pull down a little after making a move into that 500. Big buyer gets kind of stuffed on the SPOOs, kind of equal top here at the 20. Unfinished auction there. Let's see. So far, expansion is successful. NASDAQ not too happy right now with these top moves.
Who's on the bid? NASDAQ still on the offer. See, like there's some weakness on the NASDAQ at the moment. That's not reflected in the screws. Who just loves the bid more? Like that 460 on NASDAQ.
I was about to say, like, I'm not really that sure as to where I'm looking at this and like trying to, unlike now, is like, what does a pullback look like? We haven't like expanded too much right now, but yeah, I guess they bid that 460 before. S&P going on a better bid.
I gave it an attempt at 460. It didn't fail me. Bastard. Bastardo.
Might be those slow grind hires type day. And then anything NASDAQ, a little failure yet again. S&P chugging along. See if it presents any pullbacks. Like the way that NAS is going right now, it's a little weaker here, where I think it could help the S&P pull back to find maybe better buyers. Like clearly NASDAQ doesn't want to hold the buy side that strong yet. Like if we get an expansion above that, like 520-ish on NAS, I think the potential's there. Yeah, and at 10 a.m. we got some news in about 10 minutes. Some like late news that could like jolt these markets a little. You got like U of Michigan stuff. Trapped longs on SPOOs at 23s. Anyone brave enough to fade the SPOOs at these 23s? Oh shit, Mike's on the drum. Yeah, 14 to 17 on the spoos, I think would be an interesting bid. It does, I don't know. Excuse me. Maybe into like 440. Some sellers are trying to peer into this high right now in the spoos. 500 trying to offer.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
Yeah, not super successfully though. Then use in about 7 minutes as well. Maybe that news can what's it called? Stir things up for to get a little pullback, and we just continue on the bid. Yeah, like news. If you have news at like 9:45 or like 10 a.m. Eastern time, it just kind of like kills a bit of that first like half an hour in the session. Hey, Mike, other Mike, we got a lot of mics. Glad to see you on stream. They're getting a little jammed up, and like some sellers are trying to come into this high. I'm not really one for fading this, but they're doing the work here into this high, right? That 23 that we were talking about. The speaking of the cut yesterday, oh shit, what I do? So I tried to look something up and then I just like fucked everything. The cut yesterday, someone placed a pretty big bet for a double cut. So like the probability of a double cut actually bounced from 18% to about like 40% last night. Maybe that's what you're looking at. But I'm gonna look at the Fed Watch futures here to see what the probabilities look like. The hell is this? Give me the website. Yeah, like look, the chance of a double cut from yesterday jumped really aggressively. Near 50% now. Let's see where these sellers get to on this little trap top at 23 on the spoos. NASDAQ looking a touch weaker here though. Yeah, Justin, exactly. Like yesterday, throughout the day, it was like I can't remember, but the probability was very heavily skewed, probably like 80-ish% for the one cut. But like even with news like this that's coming out in like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is, like if it's even if it's not like the most anticipated event or this and that, right? Like they're still gonna like most likely jolt the market, even if it's like NASDAQ maybe moves like 30, 50 points, right? So
Yeah.
nonsense can happen.
The volatility spike within news is just annoying. The market gets so thin, so if you're in a position, it becomes more risky. So it's better to wait for it to come out to take it. Or if you're in a position prior and it drifted like 10, 20 points in your direction, then okay, like you have profit, you can manage, trail your stop. But when it's so close to the entry, it's just more risk.
Yeah, I agree. Generally, not generally, but a lot of the time I've had trades going into it.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes they get good, like you get the big expansion in your direction, and things are beautiful. And sometimes it's
Sometimes you blink and you're not in a position anymore. Like, what the fuck just happened?
yeah. The annoying part is the slippage. It's something like that. That's
Yeah.
really annoying.
Stop like
Like
10 points more than I should be on NASDAQ. Like,
yeah, it's
fantastic.
like stop was 95, got filled 05. What is it? 10 points.
Account blown. I'm like,
One to be aware of for Apple from TF Securities, Ming Chi Kuo. Please note that initial indications are that the iPhone 16 series delivery times after pre-orders are shorter than for the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Vision Pro. The more accurate picture will emerge 24 hours after pre-orders begin.
what I was looking at some nonsense here. I can't remember what I was looking at some individual names. Google's doing pretty well. 3 green days, just gapping higher. Fantastic work, Google. Nvidia's kind of like holding, not super bullish right now. Amazon's pumping higher. Apple, a little red on the day. Meta is inside day right now. Tesla's trying to run. Mixed but up generally on tech. Apparently, Dow Jones making a new freaking high of day. Yeah, I like the upside. Don't get me wrong. Am I going to be a buyer at 22? No.
Coming up now, 1 minute now to the top of the hour. We're on the lookout for that UOM prelim data for September. Headline is expected to rise to 68.5 from 67.9. Conditions expected to rise to 61.5 from 61.3. And expectations are forecasted to fall to 71 from 72.1.
Trade Pro Vanta collab. We might have to get something going there. Maybe when I'm back in the Eastern time zone in October, November. And when I don't have a pounding headache. Nothing better than watching these.
In seconds.
His dome got thin.
10 seconds to news.
Whoa.
69 on the headline, that's above the expected 68.5. Conditions 62.9, above the expected 61.5, and expectations
Everybody gotta stop
above the
long or
expected
short.
71. For 1 year inflation expectations, they were 2.7%, and for the 5 year, 3.1%.
Calma, calma.
We're coming for your liquidity.
Holy shit. Bro,
You
chill,
go
chill.
offer. Chill.
And just going over that data again. So for the headline, that was 69. So that was a bigger rise than that was expected. It did come above that expected 68.5.
I want to be a buyer, but like,
again, a bigger rise than
I'm not trying to get in the way of all this shit.
9, expected 61.5, and expectations actually rose
15
to
to 16
73
though,
after
Vic.
it was expected to fall to
Yeah.
71. And for the 1 year inflation expectation,
One touch bounce that 10.
5 year, 3.1%.
You shit. You piece of shit. I guess I gotta wait a little for this thing to settle down. NASDAQ pulled down to like 420. A lot of these offers are trying to come in, but like they just like keep trying to rebid it. Yes, swung a decent bit here. And I was gonna go back to just extremely muted nonsense. Yeah, he was trying to sewer me into buying into that volatility at that 17.
I bought it
Here it
late.
is.
I got in like I like the cluster of delta between 14 and 16, just like you. So when it spiked lower and spiked into it, I jumped
Oh,
in.
when it was going up.
Yeah, so like yeah, late
Uh-huh.
entry, not very well because like it didn't expand. It's like 2-3 points into profit now. It's yeah.
Like shit, dude, I like it. I do like it, but oh yeah, yeah.
It was a fast trade too. It's like yeah, it happened too quick. I think it comes back to that 16 or 14 one more time on the ES here. NASDAQ was even faster for me. I like hit like
Dude, I
yeah,
know.
nice, nice. But fuck, yeah. The fastest dip of all time. That took 10 seconds to get the pullback of the day, and we're gonna expand new highs, or
Even though I
oh
think it took like
shit.
1 second. By the
Yeah,
time I
this is
was like, all right, disgruntled.
if
Liquidated
we're on the
some
buy
late
side, then
bars.
we're not transitioning. I like it between like 35 to 40 on NASDAQ. Actually 40 to 50. That 10-point range is better. And yeah, 14 to 16 here. I think we're gonna get another pullback. Not a lot of people bought that low considering it didn't stay there for more like than 10 seconds. So we'll get that price again. It's just that are we gonna stay bullish or sellers have another chance? Well, that's what the information at the stop we're approaching is gonna tell us.
That's the thing. Like, it's like this is how I see this. Like, I either buy it now and then like we can start zipping. But the issue with that is like I'm gonna have to buy it again if it comes back down to the actual
Yeah,
area.
yeah. Because
And like you were saying, there's not too much buying on this. Well, like
yeah,
from the lows at least. Like they're trying right now. 20 is trying to go
very
big.
thin. Yeah,
You have
nothing
like
crazy. It's going up like very, very thin. We're going up on 28, 38. Like, where's the 200s, brother? Where is the 300s?
you know,
Where, where is the big button? The big green? Where?
yeah, where's the green button?
I
There's a
honestly
little
think that 23 fade looks better now with the
I was about
current
to say that they're
circumstances.
still trapped there.
Uh,
They popped it back out, like they popped it above it where like to 27s. They got these guys stuck, right? They slam the brakes at 27, get them stuck, reoffer. These guys are stuck here now.
US Sino related news here. PDD owned Temu, a spokesperson for the company, speaking after the Biden administration's move to curb the low value shipment, says the company's growth does not depend on the de minimis policy.
Rotating hard.
the lack of big buyers or big sellers on S&P makes it harder to get a read on order flow. So for now, I just trust the structure, higher highs, higher lows. And you
Yeah,
kind of
we're
need to
doing
poke a higher high here, though. Otherwise, you're looking at a failure. But it's just the more I stare at this DOM, the less info I get out because there isn't just much volume. The early trap was around 22, 23 from prior to news before that thin volume pop above was the all information that we have right now. You can, I don't know. It's just tough to say you can lean on it on for a fade or not, considering the order flow is just too thin. Like there is no edge to the sell.
Yeah, I'm watching NASDAQ too is trying to catch a bid. Like, you know what usually works? If I put my limits in for an area that I want to buy, usually price just continues going without me. So maybe I should just do that.
Rico's been
Listen
through a
to
lot.
less. I'm like, oh, I like to sell this area, I like to buy this area, put the limits out, just goes.
Done.
Yeah, Lucas, exactly. Like it is like rollover volumes still a thing today. Like there's the quote board. It's pretty split, like not very, it's not even, right? There's still like almost double the current contract, but like there's still a lot for the Z contract, which is probably just like it's contributing to this kind of choppy behavior right now. Which makes it like a little unfavorable to trade. NASDAQ trying to pump. Some large offers again at this 23 area, trying to hold against it, where a lot of people got a little jammed last time. This like mid 20 is a big region as well in terms of these auctions on the spoos. Might be a bit difficult to break through that. The flow right now, the size of the order flow, like Fatty was mentioning earlier, fucking nothing. Air. Yeah, should just run. Should just stack the breakout and the limit order, see what's cooking there. I wanted that 14, 16. We trade down into it, just knives through it, and then they actually start holding it. I guess those rotations were good enough. I don't know. I didn't like, I was just a little taken aback by like the order flow that was trading there. They sell again against that 27.
Couldn't get past 19 here, otherwise we'll fade hard. 18, 19 for a parallel pullback. It would have been better if we actually cleared that top at 27. A point
Yeah.
higher.
The the sell side's fighting pretty hard with this, but like it's still like they still just keep getting rebid. It's just like on the S&P, if I look at where we are realistically, like I could even just like move this and maybe make it a bit tighter. But like there's a pretty big balance area. I just move it a little. Something like that, right? It's the start of like the prior larger distribution before they started trading volume through down into that low 20. But like you can see here, prior distribution ledge from this like I guess larger auction from late August. But like I said earlier, I'm not really one to try to fade this right now on this momentum to the upside that we've had. I also don't want to like let's say start stacking like limits like this and then it just like knifes down, eats everything all at once. So it's like, do I buy into this high where like if I buy 21, let's say the potential seems to be 27. If they break out, fantastic, you probably get a decent run. Or do I wait for potentially not to get filled at lower prices? Because this is fairly reminiscent to yesterday's movement where like you chop, 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 chop. Things are looking bullish, you get stuck into a high, they sweep it lower, get a bunch of people out, and then they go on the bid again. Could be the same shit. Holding positive delta around the 21s, 20s. Just New attempt at the highs on the spoos here. Big buyer 27.5 now. They keep buying higher prices. Continued. Bid. There you go. They're eating up a little more of these resting orders, which is good. But are you still long?
No, Vic, I got it because I wasn't full fill either, so it was like, took them out. No,
NASDAQ at that 520 as well area. What the hell? Yeah, this is the price action right now isn't super favorable.
nice long surge. Wait to get on that shallow pullback.
Yeah, I think it was good.
I
I don't know.
Get a chance to fade it. Just like when you're trying to sell into weakness. Don't sell into strength. When the price is weaker, you will see it. You'll see supports being broken, offers hitting lows. Right now, like it's like both trades are risky. Trade it like fading and let's say a shallow pullback or a breakout trade, regardless of how you define it. I'll lean on the second for now until more information is presented from the sell side. Right now, it's just all of these traps. Like the way I view this is like all those deltas, when they get created like that, the fight zone gets created. Somebody's getting trapped and somebody's gonna win and somebody's gonna lose. Either the shallow pullback below them, let's say 23 is the fight zone. You pull back into 19 and then it shoots back up into 28. That's the shallow pullback. Or if it, for example, punches above the 23 into 25 and you start hitting offers and then it comes back to 17, 16, then that's the fate. So regardless, my point is the fight zone, usually the entries are where the big cluster of deltas are either below it for the shallow pullback or the breakout, or above it for the fade. So between those two, I would lean on buying shallow pullbacks until something happens. I don't know, like it keeps grinding higher. Sellers are nowhere to be seen. All of those traps, the buyers end up coming. So with this info, buy high and sell higher rather than trying to fade and be a hero.
Yeah, like the Dom's pretty bullish too, because like you don't have like too much reactive sell side pressure that comes in that like lasts very long. Like
Yeah.
all these sells just get like rebid. You get like clusters like this over here in the 21, 22. They just like rebid it. They rebid into like 23 when they pulled back just now, or 24, whatever. They keep rebidding. It's just like for me, it's trying to buy right into this like 28, 30 area. Come on. NASDAQ sitting at like 520, is failing at that top too. Like I'm not saying it looks a better short, it's just a tougher long. What's it called? Like if you're fading these types of moves with like order flow kind of against it, you want to just like treat them as like scalps, I would say. The headache's getting worse.
Told to do more.
No, the fucking
But
salt and water shit. Banned. Banned. Salt and water. That's probably some Eastern European shit your grandma told you. Could have called my grandma for the same advice.
it's actually good for you. I don't know about headache, but electrolytes, they
Yeah, no, but
for headache.
it's not working right now. I need drugs. I need Botox. You don't buy shallow pullbacks, you don't get on this long. And that's the story of the day. Mike, you think we have Tylenol and Advil over here? What do you think, this is a first world country? No, they do. I'm too lazy to go to the pharmacy. I don't even know where there's a pharmacy anywhere close. Yeah, they got what do they have here? Paracetamol or whatever it's called.
$530s on NASDAQ are now kind of tapping into a new volume block over there. If you punch above, sky's the limit, really. You accept into this distribution. This is huge. Above 530, 540, you start like you have this area between from that region 540 into about 640. That's just a whole other distribution. So if we manage to, get in and hold, be good for the buyers, more upside potential.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna just leave some limits over here like this, see if they get filled. That's gonna be it for me. Fill me at 27. Soak my feet in hot water. My God. Everyone's giving me some voodoo over here. My parents, when I was young, used to soak socks in wine and put them on me.
Why?
Like when I was sick. I don't know the reasoning. Like
Did
it
it help?
alleviates.
Yeah, that's
That's a good.
it's hard. It's hard for him to know.
Yeah, I think it did from what I like trying to remember, but it was like the most uncomfortable feeling. Like it was so gross. Like I hated it. That's
What
that's what I
part?
remember. I remember disliking it so much. I don't remember if it worked or not. Yeah, I took those limits off. This thing just like nosedive right into it.
530 on NASDAQ, bro. I'm telling you, that was a key area. I think we accomplished the target, honestly, on the buy side. Then we're gonna see some of that offer now, or maybe a deeper pullback. So
We go to 55, 65. And that's what we want to see today. I'm honestly gonna start trying to buy into this.
I don't know.
It might be a little right into an offer. Maybe I could have bought a little better. Taking out that. These guys came in on the freaking offer here. Fatty's 30 area magic. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna buy it again though, but I'm just gonna wait a little longer here.
Trying to buy at 23, half 24.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same region, these like 22s, 23s here. I put my limits out, wait for this thing to start rocketing higher.
Whenever you put your limits out, I don't know why we don't get the fill. Can you just not put the limits out? I'll put my limits out for you.
If I caught the reversal here, trying to long it again, then
Then you're a legend.
yeah. Legendary fade.
Below
Buyers
here,
started to disappear a
470.
little.
Yeah, below here, 470, 480 on NQ, and like those mid 20s, I start to get very skeptical on the long side. Right now, I like the region. There is some bits to attempting to hold it. It's worth a shot for me. So, and they're heavy on the offer at the moment.
Yeah, like that's one of the things that concern me now. Like all of a sudden, these like larger sellers are like attacking this. Like I hesitated trying to buy it on the way up, and like these sellers are trying to come in. So I might be yeah, kind of on the reversal of this. Friday the 13th, freaking scary shit right now. Offer's still coming down freaking hard right now.
Trying 420, 425 on NASDAQ. See if I can get a fill for the long side.
We're back into like 14, 16 area on the spoos too. Like I already bought it twice though. I'll wait to see if there's like a big buyer that wants to sit into this. And there's a one touch bounce. I'm like, screw me. Watching this down pretty carefully right now. Buyers are starting to kind of get taken over by some of these sellers. Lack of buying starting to get a little more evident here. I'd still rather, like, if I'm gonna flip on the short, it's gonna have to be under this 05-10 area.
Vic, you want to throw the early exit up?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, Fatty's gonna have to do it since he's host.
Yeah, I got you also.
Trying to see if these guys want to show up with any kind of buy strength. Like 14, 16, still a decent area in my opinion here. But like, come on. Don't make me chase it. I'm not gonna do that anyways. It's just gonna be disappointing not being on it. I'm gonna set some loans out into this like 17 to 16 area. On these longs. Stop down into this area, into this like 13 quarter.
Or PBR Petrobras. According to an executive, Petrobras is considering building a new petrochemical plant at the Boa Ventura energy complex. That's via a executive.
Yeah, I get filled on fucking air on this. Like 1/1000th of the position I wanted. I just have to wait for this silly little seller to settle down a little bit. I'm thinking like, do I add at higher prices on this? It's up like 6 points here. If I had a full size, I'd be taking some off. I know, Mike, MSA. You get an expansion, like, and they pull back to like, I don't know, like mid or like low 20s. That's like an area I'd consider adding into this, but like fuck, like it's already up 10 points. You son of a bitch. I feel like 1/5, 1/6 of the size I wanted to. That's kind of annoying here.
For tobacco news, the FDA has issued 6 warning letters to manufacturers and retailers for sale and distribution of unauthorized e-cigarette products promoted at an industry trade show.
Like maybe 20, 21 of that trades. I'll look to add some more. But right now, it's up like 12, 13 points in my direction. How do you pick up Nas?
I did pick up NASDAQ 40. You know me so well, Vic. That's
You were
that's
saying
funny.
you were saying you wanted it. Like
Yeah. Ah, nice. Straight. Fuck. That's what happens when you play with each other for too long. I have to change Vic now. This is dangerous.
never.
Initially, I was trying NAS around 25s, but then I noticed that I missed that bounce, and I was looking for a potential for it to keep doing this stair stepping up, higher highs, higher lows. So it looked a little bit higher into 35. Then I came into the area I wasn't filling, bumped it up into 40. That was my fill. It's the same idea that Vic executed around just the different instrument. The timing is the same. And what makes this timing really unique is like you were buying into strength. You're not buying into weakness. I feel like the earlier long where
Yeah,
I
it was
got
kind of
on,
like
it was kind of, yeah, but
$3.
to me, I could have been more patient on that. It is what it is. Expenses. And those trades are not free. Sometimes you pay to get them.
Yeah. For sure. See if this NAS can break through this 520 this time. Would help out with the
But
spooks.
just of note for some of the beverage makers in Europe, there is a bit of downside being seen in the complex over here. Reuters just pointing out Italy's Campari shares have been halted after falling around about 4.7%. Also seeing the likes of Diageo seeing a bit of downside at the moment as well. Desk is on the lookout for news. Just want to acknowledge that we've seen it. We've not seen any headlines specifically just yet.
Just going as
No pullbacks. I guess this is the trade.
you're on board though, no? You
Yeah,
only
like,
want like
but
full
like,
size,
I wanted full size on this.
2 lots. Yikes.
Yeah, like 1/6 of what I was trying to fill.
It's okay. It's okay, bro. Green is green. Remember, green is green. Could have
Yes.
dinner today. So what? So what?
It's up like 16, 17 points. 18. $19. See if we can fill one here into 38s. But yeah, maybe I don't get any pullbacks tied into this.
Molar on NASDAQ. Last exit 520. Nice. Nice.
Maybe I do. Maybe I'd be greedy about this and we try to figure this out.
Greed when it's too vertical in your direction is good. You know, it might withstand a rotation or two, but there is strength.
Yeah, you know what that means? Bet more, bet more.
Oh. I do think we get another inch. I don't know. Maybe I got out early too, and I'm just trying to make it better for myself. I'm just worried about like 30 to 40 here on NASDAQ. I know this is a big region, and getting above it.
Try to fill up here on these spoos. Greed. If it pulls back at a decent area and I find some better buyers, as long as it doesn't come back down to my entry, then I could be fine. But if it does this bullshit again, then screw me. I thought like, okay, no, not the first time. The first time I bought it, a little too aggressive. I was like buying into a pretty heavy offer. The second time, I saw some bids trying to come in, so I was like, it didn't look bad. I feel like if you were like trying to fade this or buy this, you could have had a decent day, but like it does look kind of silly price action wise. These guys are trying to come in on offer again. Just gonna take these off and then see if I can add into a higher area. Even if I put my stop here, doesn't really matter, but like on a pullback, if I see some like bids coming in again, it'll completely fuck up my average, but
I
if
like
there's something.
Sorry to cut you off. I like 95 to 505. That 10-point range, if we pull back into it on NASDAQ, I'll give it a shot on the long. I'll continue the current structure. It'll be better if we actually expand a little bit above 40 and then pull back into that region. I'll be more comfortable trying it. Because we haven't cleared the top of 530 on
Yeah.
NASDAQ. So I want to see the top break, confirm more upside, shallow pull back into either these rotations right here, 510, 515, or 95 to 505 to fire another long.
I'm watching these guys attempt to pull them. Yeah, buying is pretty shit into this high. But as long as we create a higher low here and like the bid catches up at like a better area, it should be fine. Oh, you bastard offer. Let's see here. They piqued my interest.
NASDAQ is in a region that I like, but I don't know, kind of double topped around the 530. Price action wise wasn't confirmed. It's good I waited on that. It kind of makes sense that we're pulling back, honestly. It's just like it's too vertical to the upside. Not a lot of people got the chance to get in on this. You know, it's just, yeah, pull back.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm honestly gonna see if I can add maybe into this area, into this 27, potentially into the 26, but then I have to move these stops to make sense. There's some risky business right now. I didn't take anything off after we rallied because I didn't get the fill I wanted. Maybe we chase this shit.
I don't like this price action, honestly. I feel like those vertical swings up on a day that it's choppy, it can end up in another knife down all the way back to support, kind of grab them and
Big
keep
Bloomberg
swiping
news.
them in the middle
Our
back and
computing
forth.
firm CoreWeave is in talks for a share sale at a $23 billion valuation.
Like price action wise, the long does make sense, but like good, like try it. It's just I don't know. I'm gonna hold off a bit here.
Yeah, that's like S&P is like trying to make that push through some of these like big areas to the upside. Just like NASDAQ kind of failing at that 520 here, but
Good long. It's a good long.
let's see. I gotta get above like 32 again though.
Just making you aware, shares in Italy's Campari do resume trading after previously being halted, currently down about 3.8%.
Buyer trying to bid 31.5, getting a little slapped in the head. Where's Naz? Failing at this 520 again? You bastard. Tired buying right now. That's the current situation. Yeah, that's a big sell.
That's what I was afraid of here.
These guys are getting tired on the buy.
Let's see 26 again here. I wanna see some bigger orders come in. This thin volume is
Yeah,
just
it's like that's why I'm not really
nuts.
adding even more on this, because like the buy side comes in like weak as shit. It's trying to hold, but like, God, it kind of sucks.
It did tag my 95 area that I was looking for just then. It just didn't do one more thing, which it didn't break the high. It double top, rarely broke. So it's kind of more skeptical. Like I would have been more comfortable trying to buy here if we actually cleared above like 30, maybe get into 40, 45, and then I buy it on a pullback fair. But right now I'm lost in context. I have a level, not a trade. It's holding, but man, like just too thin today to use order flow as an edge. I'm trading like strictly price action. Nice though. I see it holding. Like if you wanna try it, you're a little risky, go ahead.
I'm gonna add a little more into this, but it's just like trying to buy this like super micro pullback. Anyways, you want to give it over to Buxy, we can do the poll, and then we'll go from there.
I already gave it to Boxy. I
Okay.
was I was doing something and I just did it subconsciously. I'm used to.
I
Perfect.
didn't even know.
Very good.
I had the power all this time.
Ah, you didn't feel the rush? What happened? It
No.
doesn't get you. It doesn't
No,
get you
no,
going
it doesn't have
anymore.
any
It's
good.
like I've been host for so long. I need something stronger.
Like any other drug. Just be more.
Try salt with water. Rush.
The bid right now has to get through that like buyer that got trapped at 31.5. Otherwise, like this could be a decent top.
What's your average fill right now?
22.69.
Nice, nice. I like it.
Sick fill. The lack of buying into this top move is pretty concerning with that little pop above that like 30 area. Not like fully letting it go right now, but
All right, TRADEPRO Academy, let's close this poll out. 5, 4, 3, 2.
NASDAQ bounce pretty good. Nice. If you tried the long with Nas, good. If you tried the long with Vic, good. Nice numbers. Great numbers on the poll. Good work. Let's go. Good work today, guys. I kind of chickened out from the last long, I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. I had a couple good trades. Maybe the risk just, I don't know, was a little risk averse there. Just too skeptical. Oh no. Thank you, Boxy. Habibi.
My pleasure.
Habibi, brother. You want to do a wrap up on oil?
I do. So oil market came down and moved below its view out for a little bit, but then it just came right back up, put in a Globex high of 70.32 about 10:30. We've since come off of that, worked our way back below the open, back to the VWAP. There's no trend on. Trends are mixed. Price actions below both of them. So let's see what it does when it gets this VWAP. If it breaks the VWAP, then it's time to get short. If the VWAP holds, then you could get a range type fader type long. Whatever you do, monitor your risk, trade like a trade pro, and preserve your capital. Gentlemen, thank you for another great session, another great week. I hope that you and all of TRADEPRO Academy has a great rest of today and a great weekend. And we'll see everybody on Monday. Ciao.
Thank you, Boxy. I appreciate you, sir. Enjoy your weekend. 73% life positive, guys, between both polls. Great numbers. Like, really, 7 out of 10 people are agreeing today. So, great numbers. Market was wild today, kind of had like those big swings, one after the news, right after the news at 10 a.m., one at like once we touched that 5:30. Those two big swings forced a couple of pullbacks, and from then, like, it's just the buyers kind of pick it up and we start the slow grind higher. My last trade was my best trade, honestly, which is like 440 NASDAQ, and I ran it up until like 520, and after that was it. And yeah, like stay on the long side. Is just make sure like one thing that kind of like opens up the long side more or kind of confirms it more, regardless how you want to look at it, is a bit above 535, 540 on NQ. Because again, I see that as a huge level. It can take a like I think with the same buy momentum, like we'll get above it, no problem. It's just kind of like around these regions, I get skeptical. You get an expansion above, opens up the buy side, I'm all for it. I'll look for another pullback. But yeah, so far, like, Vic's last trade is great too, layered in, perfect. Like, really good trade, well executed, Vic, good job. And yeah, we'll do it again on Monday. Enjoy your weekends, and yeah, Vic, back to you, brother.
Thanks, guys. We'll see what happens with this one. Honestly, like they're having a struggle. People are stuck at 31.5, and it's like showing. It's a little annoying here. I'm just annoyed that I couldn't get the full fill where I wanted it. So something I don't do often is try to add into this, but the NASDAQ needs to start breaking, like Fatty was saying. S&P needs above this 31.5 because we're getting in a very sticky situation right now. So if you got to fill, right, like I filled some minis on this at like 25, I'm pretty much out of those. So whatever happens on these micros here, like happens realistically, but I don't love it that much. These guys are too jammed up. So we'll see how this transpires. If I get taken out of this, then so be it. It is what it is. It was a good move, but just on baby size. So I guess I'm getting a little greedy with this. So enjoy the weekend, everyone. And we will chat very soon. We'll chat on Discord, see what's going on, and we'll do it again on Monday. We'll see if there's any opportunities into the end of the week, but right now this choppy little bullshit range isn't looking super sexy for the buy side. So thank you everyone on YouTube that joined us, and we'll do it again next week.